Welcome to the WIHS Journal. On today's broadcast, we'll talk about the 40 Days for Life, which began September 24th and running through November 2nd. This is a movement to end injustice of abortion. 40 Days for Life is a global campaign of prayer, fasting, and community outreach. Join us today on the phone line with us was Marina Trevino. She is one of the leaders in New Haven. Yeah, so tell us, how long have you been involved with the 40 Days of Life?
I got involved with 40 Days for Life first in Texas as a volunteer. Always try to say this story to my volunteers. I was in high school and my aunt told my cousin and I that if we didn't go volunteer and pray outside of Planned Parenthood, we couldn't have the car to go out Saturday night. So that was like the little planting of seed in me. And later on in 2022, I ended up stepping up to lead a 40 Days for Life campaign here in New Haven, because I guess I had that one experience back in the day, and somehow that gave me enough courage to be step forward and sign up to be the campaign leader in New Haven. So a lot of work, I did it.
Yeah, and I mean, New Haven is like New Haven. You know, we don't need to say any more about New Haven. Tell us what you guys are doing on a daily basis. When did it start and when will it end, and what you do every day?
Yes, sure. So 40 Days for Life started in Texas. And around 2007, they started spreading around the U.S. and now they're all over around the world. So we're like 781 campaigns worldwide right now. And we all started at the same time on Wednesday. We always started on Wednesday. So we started Wednesday, September 24th, and we basically pray, fast, and hold peaceful vigils outside of abortion centers or anywhere that dispenses abortion pills until November 2nd. So every location has a different, basically, campaign details. So here in New Haven, I registered. The original campaign in Texas was a 24-hour vigil, but here in New Haven, we have a 12-hour vigil campaign from Monday through Saturday.
Wow. Okay. That's great. Now, is there just in New Haven, or you're doing more than just New Haven?
So in Connecticut, basically the way it works as campaign season comes up with 40 Days for Life, it really depends on the campaign leader if they want to register and activate their location again or not. So this time around for the fall campaign, we have 6 campaigns in Connecticut. We have I represent New Haven, we have Bridgeport, we have Stamford, we have West Hartford, Waterbury, and Norwich.
Wow.
So each campaign leader manages the volunteer list at their location, and anything that goes on, any events that they want to put together at their location to encourage education or rally people to come out. And it's really hard to get volunteers from telling them about what it is, even if it's just recruiting them after mass or if you host an event.
Yes.
And then from getting them from that point, actually for them to come out on the sidewalk outside of, in our case, Planned Parenthood. And especially for me here in New Haven, the Planned Parenthood in New Haven, they do surgical abortions on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Wow.
So it's especially hard for the volunteers that come out, knowing that sometimes some volunteers are up for it. Some people want to avoid those hours. So I do tell people that if you have like unresolved issues with abortion, whether you had it, maybe this wouldn't be a thing, but particular person like that, or if you have if you're somebody with like anger issues, because you do expose yourself to just being out in public, and we get more positive feedback than negative.
Oh, that's great.
So that's, a lot of people are surprised maybe the first time they come out and they're like, oh, it was like we got a lot of thumbs up, or you'll just get a couple of F-bombs. They might just be louder, but they're not the majority, I would say. So in New Haven, I encourage people to just come, bring somebody with them, not to come alone, at least 2 people per shift. They have to go to the website to register, sign the statement of peace, and pick a time to come from our vigil calendar. So they have to go to 40daysforlife.com/New Haven, register, and then all the information curated, and it's on the website for New Haven, for example. So tell my volunteers on the website where the bathrooms are, where the parking is, and I also link resources so they can, learn about abortion in Connecticut or other related topics. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So on the flip side, I remember, Abby Johnson, her huge movement, the movie that came out and, changed a lot of America's minds. What, do you see like a shift and a change, like spiritually when you guys are praying? Have you made a difference? Are people changing their mind not to get the abortion?
That movie is so important, and I always recommend people to watch that movie because it definitely changes, people's minds when they see it.
Yes.
Than from me telling them, I can only say so many things after church, after mass, but there's nothing like watching that movie. So you're correct. So the original campaign started in Bryan, Texas. I got the opportunity to go this summer. They bring us, headquarters will bring the campaign leaders together, and this year they brought us to Texas and they took us to headquarters on buses. So I actually got to see the actual headquarter building where Abby Johnson used to work, and tour the place, and it's very impactful. They still kept together the abortion room, and Dr. Haywood gave us a special tour to all the campaign leaders and told us, what it's like as a doctor to have performed abortions. So when 40 Days for Life campaign goes on, our volunteers, what they can expect is that they might experience somebody changing their mind. So there could be a baby safe. Sometimes people don't want to have abortions, and they just want a sign from from God, right?
Yeah.
Or to change their mind. And sometimes you don't even have to talk to them. Just 40 Days for Life, they have curated over the years what strongest messages, and just by holding a sign and having the women reading them, that could be enough to change their mind. So what I tell my volunteers here in New Haven is that, sometimes women come a couple days before pre-abortion appointments.
Yes.
So, it could be that you're praying on a Monday because you don't want to be there on an abortion day, but you still might change without knowing somebody's mind. And usually we don't know. So it's really, but when there are occasions where the boyfriend and girlfriend go, and the boyfriend usually will say, oh, she changed her mind. That's how we usually find out in New Haven, that we had a baby safe. So it's a big deal for us when we have a baby safe. You use that information not at the sidewalk, but maybe at home. I've had instances where I'll get text messages and I'll be like, my daughter's friend is thinking of having an abortion, and I'm telling my daughter to, there's always going to be somebody around you who's considering it. And by our volunteers being that beacon of light and hope and knowledge, you might
Amen.
Be able to help somebody who's in a crisis situation, and not even at the sidewalk, but because of the things you learned when you came out to pray. And
speaking right now to Mariana Trevano, she is the organizer of 40 Days for Life in New Haven. Now tell us, are you looking for any more volunteers, or how can our listeners be praying for this event?
Right now, the best thing anybody can do is go to the website, 40daysforlife.com/location, and that will take them, it's mine or another town in Connecticut or somewhere else in the world. Contact your campaign leader, somebody like me, and they'll tell you what's going on specifically.
Once again on the broadcast with us was Marina Trevino. She is one of the local directors in the New Haven office for the 40 Days for Life, which began September 24th and running through November 2nd. If you feel like you would like to pray, be part of this movement, or volunteer, you can always visit the website, 40daysforlife.com. I'm Anissa Porticelli for News and Public Affairs.